I'm Richard. Welcome to Burning Spears, my cooking channel on YouTube, where today I'm going to do something pretty special. I've got a giant T-bone, nice and thick, beautiful dry aged number, and I'm going to cook it on the braai, and it's going to be a Biltong-Flavoured T-bone. So stick around to see how this works out. It's going to be really tasty, and I hope you enjoy the video. And let's get into the ingredients. So when I make biltong, I'm quite a purist. I normally use salt, black pepper, coriander, and vinegar. Sometimes I use Worcester sauce or blend the vinegar and Worcester sauce, depending whether or not I'm feeling typically adventurous that day. But today, to flavor the T-bone, I'm going to use Worcester sauce instead of vinegar, because I want the taste to really be reminiscent of a biltong. It's not going to be cured for so long or anything like that with biltong. So I need to get as much flavor in the short time as possible. I'm not doing any marination or anything like that overnight. It's just simply going to be a couple of hours. So I've got Worcester sauce, beer, cheers. You might have noticed that's for me. Whole coriander, which I'm going to dry roast in a pan and then blitz up to get my sort of half shells to finer. I don't want it to be a fine powder, and I don't want it to be all coarse. I want a blend of both. And freshly ground black pepper. I did this morning, and kosher salt. And then, of course, my meat of choice. So that's it, really. It's very simple, but man, does this punch above its weight with regards to flavor. It is delicious. Certainly the way the fire kisses the coriander, and you get extended sort of char and smokiness from all of that interaction. It's really, really cool. So let's get on to the first stage of the first process, which is really, really simple. Not difficult at all. Okay, so very simple. First stage, I've got a Ziploc bag. This is a 2-gallon one. Just want to be careful that the sharp bones don't pierce it. So I won't be too rigorous on moving it around. I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of black pepper. I will put more on later. And then probably half a cup of Worcestershire sauce. Us South Africans traditionally struggle with that pronunciation, so I've simplified it so I don't sound like a complete tit. Now I'm going to pop this back in the fridge because I want the meat to contract a bit with the cold and pull in some of the Worcester sauce. I'm going to leave it in the fridge for about 2 hours and give it a turn every half hour or so, just to make sure that I get full coverage and penetration. Okay, so this has been in the fridge for just on 2 hours. Good color. So I've got this all nicely ground up. You can see the half shells in there, I hope. And I'm basically going to use equal portions and half on the salt. So 4 tablespoons and 2 of salt. Beautiful. Smells great. Great color. Then I'm going to pack it on as thick as it'll go. See what I mean about the coriander size difference? Right, I'm going to leave that to come back up to room temperature. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move most of the coals across. So that I can get a nice cool zone. I'm going to want to do the T-bone very slow until 40 degrees internal temperature. And then I'm going to have a heat zone on this side, which you will see in a bit. These coals are extremely hot being hardwood. Okay, so I've pulled some coals over here to get a really nice low temperature where I'm going to let it sit and come up to about 40 degrees internal before I make a big fire on that side and sear it nice and hot and flame. I have put a log there just to give smoke throughout the cook, which will gently kiss the steak. The beauty about such a big T-bone is you can cook it on the bone up, or standing on the bone, I mean, in this initial stage, with the sirloin part of the T-bone facing the hot part of the fire, because you want to protect the fillet. The fillet cooks at completely different temperature and pace compared to the sirloin section. So the fillet section is a bit more protected here. It's a nice slow heat. That smoke will be softly coming across to waft. I'll turn and rotate this through, and I'm looking for an internal temperature of 40 degrees on the fillet. I'm going to concentrate on the fillet to make sure that the fillet is served perfectly. The sirloin must just be as is, which will be great anyway. Right, let's check the temperatures. 41. 38. 38. So it's nearly time. I'm close enough to 40 on the fillet. Give it another 3 or 4 minutes, and then we get the sear going. Right, 42 on the fillet. In my books, I've overshot it a little bit, so let's get it on the flames. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be aiming for an internal of 50 degrees on the fillet. It's a hot day, so the resting temp will be climbing, and I just want to pull it off nice and early to get the best result. Fingers crossed. Time to come off and rest. Okay, hot under here, 30 degrees here in the UK. Summer has finally arrived and this studio gets hot. It really, really does. But I've got the steak done. In my mind, getting the fillet perfect. The sirloin can come out as is. So it's probably mid-rare on the sirloin, and the fillet should be rare. Rested for a little bit. Need to stay hydrated, guys. Cheers. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this come together. What I said earlier was the extreme heat will hit that crust and it'll burn that crust, but that crust you just scrape off and you're left with a lovely, lovely smoky flavor. That coriander goes through, black pepper. I will finish with salt and pepper because I didn't get enough time for the salt to penetrate. I didn't do anything like that. So just be a little finish, a little kiss on the top. But yeah, let me dish up and let's carve this baby up and see how it looks. I think that's pretty good. Beautiful, beautiful color. It's going to be juicy. Right. Give it a little season. The bit I've been waiting for, the fillet. That is special, man. That is so special. Coriander, black pepper, little sweetness from the Worcestershire sauce. Delicious. The sirloin, so the sirloin flavor is stronger than the fillet. Oh, that is delicious. The way it works together with the coriander and the pepper is phenomenal. That fat, that dried fat, nutty, really rich. Nothing wrong with rich food. So I really hope you enjoyed that like I did. Cheers. Just beautiful. Bit of lime in there, you know. Mexicans know what they're doing. So I'm just going to get the board dished up. Going to have this with some flatbread and beautiful fresh salad. Great for summer vibes. And then there's rugby on in a minute, so I've got to fly. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please try this. It's excellent. Like and subscribe. Please always like the videos. It's important to us YouTubers, as well as subscriptions. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm going to thoroughly enjoy eating it. So thank you, and hopefully see you soon. And that's it.